Okay, today we're at Thorne Farm, Saturday morning. The girls here have been riding out. First of all, we got Ruby, the heir to the Thorne Farm millions, so I'm told. And then we've got Molly Legg, who is a amateur jockey at the moment, but hoping to go conditional very soon. And Margot Scudamore, daughter of Tom and granddaughter of Peter, who's had a fantastic weekend at the Grand National.
And he'll win the Scottish National today, which I'm sure you would tell us in a minute, won't you?
Well, anybody watching this, it'll be after today now, but anyway, hopefully Nigel's right. Okay, Nigel, over to you.
Yeah, great. I mean, basically, the sort of thoughts of doing this morning is that there's been so much negativity about racing at the present moment, and I think you've only got to listen to these three young females on the wall this morning to say, look at the positive side of racing, and we'll start with Ruby. Tell me where you started from, Ruby, Austin, and tell us the full story about your ride at Cheltenham.
Yes, so I started pony racing. Obviously I've always been around horses my whole life and race horses. So I did pony racing for a bit and I did show jumping alongside my pony racing. But in the end I decided to focus on show jumping, much to Nigel's disappointment, but yeah.
I mean, the lovely story about Ruby, and she started, the first pony she had was called Austin, or you call him something a bit different, don't you? Austin. It's Austin? Austin. And he literally came off Bodmin Moor. We heard 4 ponies that were literally off the moor, like cattle on the back of the lorry. Brought him back. He was by far the best of the 4. He ended up winning at Cheltenham under Ruby, which she actually announced her retirement on that day, because once she won at Cheltenham, she didn't think she could do any better. And obviously went show jumping after that. That pony will be one of the most successful small ponies in the country now. And what's your new pony called, Ruby? Luna, and you're going great guns with him at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah.
Just got beat at Hartbury last weekend, so Ruby's career's obviously diversed a little bit, but she's very much in the scene still, and as she said, you can see for the enthusiasm, they certainly love the ponies. I'll pass you on to Molly now.
I have always been horsey all my life. When I left school, I went straight to the racing school, did a 9-week course there, then come to Nigel's, and I'll be coming up 5 years now since I've been here. In the summer, I've done a couple of seasons at Rafe Beckett, which is Andover way, for experience. So yeah, things are going in the right direction.
I think the lovely thing about having Molly here, she's been here since day dot. You love your horses, don't you, Molly?
Yeah.
Absolutely love them. I've got Kendaloo, might give you a ride on next year, something like that. But they, it's keep saying, they love the horses, they love the ponies, and this is what racing's all about. And yeah, you worship them all, don't you? So hopefully Molly's going to get a conditional licence out for next year and make you champion jockey. Right, I'll pass you on to the next one. She'll do all the talking. She usually does, and she knows far more than I do half the time. It's lovely actually, because I've got 2 new assistants here. I've got Ruby right beside me here, which is about the only person I go racing with who actually watches races with me, and she's a great advisor. She's got her own opinions during races, which is quite unique. And any problems or any horses, I've got my help at the end here, which I'll pass you on to now.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that, but no, we've experienced a fantastic weekend the last week. I was lucky enough to be up there for all 3 days really. So to watch Lucinda hit the crossbar, unfortunately twice on Thursday, but ran great races, and then Friday the brilliant Apple Away, bringing back the Grade 1 Sefton Novice Hurdle. And then obviously on Saturday the Grand National Korak Rambler, he was just fantastic to have. We were very lucky to experience one for Arthur in 2017, but at the time I think I was still a bit too young to kind of appreciate, the race itself and the achievement it was. So to be there and to be part of the build-up for the last year has been fantastic. As Nigel said, like the positivity in racing, my granddad, just Korak is his everything. Every day we ring him up and the first thing he speaks about is Korak. Never mind us. He doesn't really include that bit, but everything's been about Korak the last year, and to have seen him do that in such amazing style, it was a very, very special day.
I think going on to what Margot's saying there, and it just made me think about it this morning. Obviously, a few years ago when her granddad was riding, I was riding about the same time, and to be fair, he was champion. How many times? Was 8, 9 times? 8 times champion jockey. He was my hero. He was champion jockey. And what you said this morning just made me think, because as you said, you speak to him every day of the week about these horses and the enthusiasm. This man's been champion jockey many a time, ridden thousands of winners. Obviously, your dad. How many winners your dad ride in the end?
1,400 and something.
Nearly 1,500 winners. But the enthusiasm the whole family's got and everybody got, it's great to hear. And this is what, let's not be negative about jump racing. There's a positive, and you hear stories like that. And for youngsters here, it's surely the future, long term, is very good when you've got people like this into racing.
Yeah, no, I think that puts it right. The opportunities to get into racing now are so open for females, for anybody in racing. It's fantastic. There's so many good lines to call, people to turn to. The jockey coaches are fantastic, and the support
Does that include Roddy Green as well?
definitely includes Roddy Green. But the support that everybody's getting at the moment is brilliant, and long may it continue.
Well, this is just it, and obviously we had the problems. Well televised the problems at Liverpool last Saturday, but as I keep saying, let's look on the positive of it, and there is so much positivity in this whole game. I keep going back. We've got 3 young girls like this in the game. It's got to be very, very good, and you're all passionate about the whole job, aren't you, with your ponies as well? Molly, well, but you can see that they thoroughly enjoy the game, and it's all good.
So Molly and Margot, both you hoping to? Would you like to both be professional jockeys? Would that be the dream?
Yeah, I suppose. Well, I'm turning conditional, hopefully, for next season, to be successful. Really, ride winners. Just kind of play it by ear. Really, I've had loads of experience from Nigel's schooling and all the rest, and I've had a few rides pointing and amateur rides as well. So yeah, it's all going in the right direction.
Yeah, like Molly said, definitely that's the goal. Obviously, I've got big boots to fill, but to try and ride as a professional, that would be the ultimate dream.
When's your first ride?
I'm not sure. Hopefully, sometime in the summer. Fingers crossed if the amateur licence goes okay. But at Grandad Lucinda's, we've got a few horses lined up, so it's very exciting.